Hello there. Well, it looks like Theresa May has decided to stand up to someone in pushing her deal with no compromises. Pity though that it's her fellow MPs she's taking a stand against and not the Eurocrats. The Brexit Secretary in name only, Stephen Barclay, who tells us that the so-called meaningful vote will go ahead on Tuesday and that his boss would be able to stay on as PM in the face of defeat to go back to Brussels to have another go at renegotiating, or more likely to get her new set of instructions. I call the vote a so-called meaningful vote because it is turning into pretty much a meaningless vote. If they were to surprisingly accept May's deal, it would essentially keep the UK in a subservient position with the EU for as long as it took to reduce the country into accepting re-admittance on terrible terms. If, as expected, it is voted down, then it will be used to try and engineer an extension to Article 50 or even reverse Brexit, especially if the ECJ rules tomorrow, as most people think it will do, that the UK can unilaterally revoke its triggering of Article 50. Now that's one piece of news to look out for tomorrow. The vote also appears to be meaningless in that not even a heavy loss will lead to a change in government or Prime Minister. No, as far as the establishment is concerned, the vote on Tuesday is about reversing Brexit and how it is done, not achieving the UK exit from the EU. And as the PM is 99.9% certain to lose, then it is really all about what happens after that vote. And the real truth of why it is meaningless is that whatever the outcome, the ardently anti-Brexit establishment will still hold all the reins of power and influence. And that is something we should never ever forget or allow to become clouded throughout all the debate and all the toing and froing in this whole process. And the only way to cause an earthquake big enough to shift that is for the people to not vote for those traditional parties that promise so much but keep failing us time after time after time. Moving on, as soon as I saw Boris Johnson sporting a new short haircut on the Andrew Marr show this morning, I knew that the Tory leadership game was afoot. And I'm not the only one with that view. Paul Waugh, the executive director of politics for the Huffington Post, tweeted, "You know Boris is on leadership manoeuvres when he has his hair cut." Seeming to set out his leadership credentials, Boris told Marr that the UK should withhold 50% of the so-called Brexit divorce bill of £39 billion until a free trade deal was established, and that the Irish border backstop was a legal lobster pot. The real problem with the backstop, he told Marr, is that it gives the power to Brussels and all the other EU member states effectively to blackmail us and get what they want out of the future trade negotiation. And he called it a diabolical position to be put in that must be renegotiated. But then he answered questions about a leadership challenge by him by saying that viewers didn't want to hear stuff about personalities and leadership elections. They wanted answers to getting the UK out of what he called this mess. Now, I've watched the Party Games episode of Yes Minister, so Boris has convinced me that he doesn't want to be Tory leader and PM. Not. And another possible contender is David Davis, who has written a piece in The Telegraph saying that we must defeat Theresa May's wretched Brexit deal and go out into the world with hope and imagination. And he tweeted, "We need a new strategy of hope, vision and imagination. Next Tuesday is make or break. It's time to defeat this wretched deal and get on with the future." The trouble for all those aspiring to the top job is that most Tories will want either a long-term agreed caretaker leader or a very short, sharp process leading to an unopposed appointment. But as the party is full of Remainers, then the Brexiteers may not even get a sniff of a chance. Finally, I've just looked at the footage and reports of the Brexit Betrayal March in London, and there have been no reports of incidents of violence or fascist symbols of inappropriate saluting, etc. It looked like a good, well-organised and peaceful protest to me, with a hefty attendance. In fact, the best the pro-Remain press could do was to say that thousands had attended an anti-Tommy Robinson march at the same time. But looking at the picture in their report, it looks closer to about 100 people. So one assumes that reports by the same media that thousands had attended the Brexit rally means that many thousands did then. The report did also say that the police had been holding the anti-Tommy Robinson protesters in Trafalgar Square and only letting them through into Whitehall in groups, which may well have helped keep the Queen's peace. So it seems that the authorities are catching on as to where the threat of disturbance is really likely to come from. On a personal note, I did find it unpleasant and distasteful to see a picture of one Brexit betrayal attendee carrying a noose. Not funny, not clever, and not really needed. Let's keep to the issues, shall we? So please let us all know what you think by leaving a comment below, and thank you for watching. Please do like and share this video, and also subscribe to my channel. And when subscribing, please do remember to press on the little bell next to the subscribe button. That way you'll get an alert every single time I put up a new video. Thank you very much for watching.